Well, welcome aboard, everyone. It is Virtual Collage Jam for Monday, June 21st, 2021. The last one for this spring until the fall. So welcome aboard, and I hope you can join us. It is it's a variable day out there, but summer is on its way. Yahoo! I know.
It's the first day of summer today.
It is actually. It's the solstice, I guess, right? Or So longest, either last night or yesterday or today, is the longest day of the year. So, and I know everyone, at least here in Canada, is raring to get outside and enjoy. So I hope you've have or going to have your second shot. We have ours booked for the 1st of July.
Yes.
So not very long from now.
Very excited about that.
Yes, very excited about that. It was originally booked for mid-August, but they bumped up our date, which is great. So I hope you guys are in the same boat. We may actually be seeing the backside of the worst of the pandemic, at least. Fingers crossed, depending on how these variants work out. But I'm optimistic. I hope you guys are too. So, hey Val, hey Rebecca, great to have you along. Welcome back. Thank you for coming. So today, a couple of things to talk about. First of all, our theme for today is going to the dogs, which is a phrase that actually has its origin in, which I had no idea until I looked this up this morning. It has its origin in China when dogs were not allowed within the walls of a city. So if you were sort of thrown out or you fell in hard times and were expelled from the city, you basically went to the dogs out there with the garbage from the city and the dogs that ate it and the people who were tossed out of the city. So, but in general, it means something going to the dogs means it's less than it used to be. It's falling down. It's getting derelict. It's being run less well. et cetera. So
to understate it,
yes, to understate it. But I'm just
going all the crap. Basically.
But I also know there are lots of dog lovers out there who can put a positive spin on it and a fun spin on it.
Exactly.
So exactly. And what was my image research? My image research was dogs. So I'm gonna do something with some dogs. I have no idea what yet, but something.
No walled cities?
No. Well, I had a walled city idea, but I don't know whether it will actually find its way into it or not.
Gerda's joined us.
Hey, Gerda, welcome aboard. Yay. Before I dive into actual collaging, and you can tell me who all's here and so on in just a minute, but I just want to, before I forget, mention a couple of things. You may have seen in the email or on Facebook, but Cherie Ricola, who's one of our diehard collage jammers, has been invited by Collage Magazine to write an article about Virtual Collage Jam. So that's really exciting. She's done a first draft, which is great, Cherie. So thank you. I've read it over, and so if you can spare a few minutes and a few thoughts, Cherie has posted in our Facebook group a post asking for just a few comments about what the Collage Jam has meant to you.
Maybe you could pin that post to the top in the group a while.
I think I could, yes.
Yeah, so that it's easy to find.
Yeah, it's quite recent, but I will pin it to the top if I can. I think I can. And someone else's posts? Yeah, okay. All right.
You're the administrator. You can...
And Kim is the Facebook expert, so that's why I'm like, can I do that? Oh, Lordy. So, so if you have a few comments about what Collage Jam has meant to you over the past many pandemic months and can spare a few thoughts, please write them. You never know, they may find their way into the article.
Lots of messages.
Yes, and I mentioned before that this is the last one until the fall. We are, as you can understand, knackered, and a bunch of you are anxious to be outside in the lovely summer. So we will be jamming today, and then we'll be back in the fall. I think I've said everything I need to say, so I'm going to let Kim.
Let's get caught up.
Yeah, exactly. And
a little bit here.
Yeah.
So Val mentioned that she had her second shot and didn't feel too well afterwards. So we should probably be prepared for that.
I've heard that from a few people actually, Val, that that they had no reaction or very little reaction to the first shot, and then had more reaction to the second one. So I guess we have that to look forward to. But
well, it makes sense because
your
immune system is getting kicked up another notch. So
yes, exactly. So it's not going to stop me from running to get it.
Oh, yeah. We'll just book the day off.
Yeah, exactly. Or make sure we don't have too much on for a couple of days. But yeah. So
Annie says hi.
Hey, Annie. Welcome back.
Joy says hi and says that it's sad that this is our last Monday event.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to miss everyone.
We will absolutely miss you guys and miss doing it. And so thank you for coming, Joy. I know you're from all the way on the left coast, so cheers.
We'll be back in September, and we will put out on all our channels on social media and newsletter what those dates are.
Yes.
And don't know when in September exactly.
Yeah, we haven't nailed it down, but it'll be September, and most of you are on the Collage Jam list, so you will get that email when Yeah, absolutely. So. And who else have we heard from?
Cherie.
Hey, Cherie, our
great to be with you.
Author in residence.
That's right.
As well as a prolific collager.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you, Cherie, for all your work to champion us.
Françoise is here.
Hey, Françoise.
Nice to see you, she says. Nellie is here and
hey,
says
Nellie.
hi.
Yay.
Anne Lakeoff is here.
Hey, Anne. Nice to have you back.
She says, hi, everyone. It's the longest day of the year. Great to spend some of it with you.
Oh, it's an honor to have you guys along for it. It's been quite the wild ride, this whole pandemic collage jam, but this has definitely been one of the biggest silver linings, I think, for me and for us, is our events where we get to connect with you guys in this way. We get to make some art. We get to talk about art. We get to forget about other things, right?
Which today is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Annie writes, yay, Cherie, what a great opportunity.
Yeah, it is. It's really lovely. So
Jane has joined us and says hi.
Yay.
To everybody. Joy writes, have a great summer. You deserve it. It has been great to tune in for creativity time. Looking forward to our fall gathering whenever or wherever. Thanks again.
Thanks, Joy. And for those of you who might have Collage Jam withdrawal, don't forget that there are a whole bunch of episodes. They're all
replays, videos
that you could just watch on the YouTube. So if you missed, who's going to have seen every last one? Probably a few of you dieharders, but probably there are at least a few that I don't remember that theme. So you can go and have a little Collage Jam
that's right.
viewing during the summer on one of the replays if you like.
And if you run out of Collage Jam videos, you can go to my channel and watch. I have over 60 virtual studio party videos. Yeah. So there's lots to...
How come you have so many more? I'm sure I don't have that many jams, but that's pretty impressive.
I think I did more of them.
Right. Yeah, no, you definitely...
Some of them are two-parters because
right.
The stream cut out, but I did more of them.
Yeah, so...
And you started out on Zoom as well.
Yeah, I did the first 2 or 3 on Zoom. That's true, and they weren't recorded. So
yeah.
So Kim has a bevy of the same kind of thing. So if you're just looking to do some making and do instead of your usual music or radio or whatever, you can just listen to the chitter chat between Kim and I, which can be companionable.
And whoever was in attendance.
Yeah, exactly.
Cherie writes, by taking a summer hiatus now, I feel less guilty being at the internet-free cottage. Thanks. Yeah, you won't be missing out.
No,
so that's
exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
Françoise writes, so grateful you and Kim inspired us during this pandemic. Thank you, Françoise.
Oh yeah, that means the world to us.
Yeah.
To hear it, but we love to do it.
By the way, please give our best to your cousin in France who attended some of these sessions.
That was so lovely.
It was really lovely. She adds, also you created a warm community. Well, I'm glad we were able to create the vessel for it. You blessed guys with all these beautiful people that you are.
It's the warm community is out there.
Thank you.
We just have so many blessings to count, and a whole bunch of them are in those comments.
In the chat right now.
Exactly. So thank you, blessings, one and all.
Rena Gottesman's here.
Hey,
saying
Rena,
hi,
yay.
And so nice to join you today with hearts. And there are a couple of emoji that YouTube is not conveying to me, unfortunately.
Right, yeah,
but I think we've got the idea with the hearts.
Thank you, Rena.
Judy Nugent writes, finally made it. So glad to be here, Judy, for the last hurrah. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy it today, Judy, and that you can join us again when we resume in September.
We're happy to have you back, and we'll be happy to have you back in September. So
I've just had 3 more comments to catch you
Fire
up
away.
on. Okay.
Yep.
And then,
no, that's great. Lots of comments is wonderful.
Yeah. Joy writes, happy solstice, time to celebrate and give thanks. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Gerda writes, I picked up a new fat book today. Katie Deepwell, editor, called Feminist Art Activisms and Artivisms. Oh, that's interesting. Amsterdam 2021. So it's very recent. Brand new.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Lots of artists from UK and Europe. Great to know. Thank you, Gerda.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely.
That sounds
one
very
to go straight to near the top of the list of our long list of art books to get.
Oh my goodness.
But
as our house groans, sometimes I think we need an engineer to come in and say,
make sure.
Okay, if we want to buy more books, what do we need to do to the structure of the house?
Put more beams here.
Cherie writes, my friend Carol in Campbellville is an avid watcher, if not live, then on the stream. She's a fan.
Oh, well, welcome aboard, Carol. If you're joining us live or after the fact, it's really lovely to have you along.
Yeah, so glad to know you're watching.
Yeah. And if you haven't subscribed to get the emails, definitely just go to my website and the Collage Jam page and send me an email, and I'll add you to the list so that you're first to know when we get back in September.
That's right. And Judy writes, always.
Aw, thanks.
So, what have you got for us, Cal? Get out your tickle trunk. Oh my God, that's
what I've got for you right there. That's kind of how I feel right now. We've, as you know, we've been
under siege
emotionally from all kinds of passings and challenges. So
the latest was after midnight last night.
Last night we lost Kim's god sister, I guess is how.
That's the closest way to describe it.
Yes. Yeah. So the godmother that Kim, who we've been dealing with, transitioning to long-term care and helping her with her apartment, among many, many other things. Her adopted daughter, who's had many, many health challenges through her all too short life, passed away last night. So
the end of suffering.
Yeah. I mean, on the positive side, her last months were awful.
Yeah.
Really, truly awful. So it is a blessing in that respect, but it's also just. But
overall, it's not a blessing.
Yeah, exactly. It's all relative, right? And it's So if we aren't quite our usual jolly selves, we're going to try to be, but that is why, if we're a little subdued. So, But we know we will get through with a little help from our friends. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I usually the morning before I grab some images and do a few little sketches to sort of roll my head around like what I could do. I should really do that more than the morning ahead of time, but sometimes life gets in the way. So I've printed out.
And today more than usual.
Yeah, today more than usual. So just point this down for a moment. You can see I've got all kinds of, took some clip art, some free photographs, a little thing of different breeds. I thought that'd be kind of fun. In fact, I found this one's kind of fun.
Silhouettes?
Yeah, they're actually, it's way better just to hold it up because I think the lighting's better.
Yeah.
Silhouettes of different breeds, which is kind of fun. But do I have any idea what I'm going to do with them? No. So
We'll just keep flipping through.
Yeah, exactly. I'll start.
resonates.
I'll do what I normally do, which is to start cutting something out, something that I think might benefit from close cropping. In other words, cutting around the edge, and then we'll just go from there. So, meanwhile, let Kim know in the chat what you're planning. Are you going to work with the prompt? Are you going to work on something else? Do you have any cool dog resources? Are you using just dogs, or are you using the meaning of the quote, or are you doing both? Yeah, the metaphor. Yes, that's better. So let us know, and maybe what I'll do is switch us to the overhead camera. So
good time for it.
Yeah. So just look away for a moment while we do that.
Yeah. It is peculiar, but that was a reasonably slow pace, so that was good.
I had it all nicely set up just before, and then I bumped it just before going live. So
you want to push it so it's on the table, not so much off the table.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
There we go. And let's get some focus happening.
So,
terribly focused.
Is it not? All right, let's see if we can get it to. See if we can bring the focus down to the surface. It seems to be focused more like here, doesn't it? It's interesting. On my screen, it looks actually pretty good. But it's blurred on the feed.
Well, maybe it's just not full resolution, and so the effect is blurred. I don't know. Rebecca, I think when you were holding up that beautiful dog, she
right?
Aw.
Yeah. No, he's
adorable.
Definitely a ham, right? Yes.
Yeah. Joy writes, I am so grateful to have been included. You both helped me through the long COVID winter. Hugs. Annie writes, so sorry for your loss. Hugs.
Thanks, guys.
Rena writes, so very sorry to hear. And thank you. A number of you have left really lovely messages on social media about it already. So don't feel obliged to reiterate that. Your messages and sentiments are appreciated. Your lovely thoughts are appreciated. Rebecca writes, puts a heart and an emoji that unfortunately didn't come across. Judy says, so sorry to hear about yet another loss for you both. Yeah, it's just, we do feel a little buffeted these days.
Yes.
Rebecca says, looks fine here. Okay, well, good. As long as it looks fine for you, I don't know what's wrong with my thing. I should check what. Okay, we've got a response about
what people are cooking up.
Yeah.
Yay, that's good.
Jane Jane's leading the charge. She writes,
Thank you, Jane.
your prompt immediately sparked me into thinking my collage must be of a political nature. So working on that, and grand dog Mochi was here yesterday, so took some pics. I love that, grand dog. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to see what you cook
Yeah,
up.
yeah. There are going to be some interesting dog collages on the Facebook page. That's for sure.
Thanks so much for those of you who have given the video a like already. Much, much appreciated. It certainly helps Kal out.
Yeah, thank you
to do
guys.
that and help spread the word ever so gently about this event on YouTube. And by the way, if you're not subscribed, just a little bit below the like and to the right is a subscribe button if you would like to get notifications about what the latest uploads are. Susan Abbott has joined us.
Hey, Susan.
She
Sorry,
writes,
I was used to it. I have to figure out how to wave to the overhead
That's
camera.
She says, just chilling here watching Collage TV. I love it.
That's great.
That's lovely.
That if I hadn't come up with that name,
would be a good
that
name
would be
for it.
Yeah. You never know. It might change. Collage TV is kind of fun.
It could evolve into that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great name, Susan.
It could become multifaceted, right?
It could.
If only I had energy for all these good ideas.
Well, you can be forgiven at this point for being plumb out of energy.
Yeah. Rebecca writes, not sure what I'll do yet. Might do something in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day today. Maybe a Cancel Canada Day poster.
Ooh,
well, that would be interesting to see. Yeah.
And that's amazing that it is.
Oh, yeah. So Dina passed away after midnight last night on solstice and at the start of Indigenous Peoples Day, and she was First Nations. So, yeah, it's very like her that it's so symbolically loaded. Rebecca says, Susan writes, feeling a bit drained myself, had a tent show on the weekend and today can barely move. Yes, I saw that on Instagram,
wow.
Susan. I hope it went well, and I totally sympathize with that. When it's such a huge exertion.
Yes.
Getting ready for them, mounting them, being there, and then taking it all down, and
yeah, I would
massive.
Be if I were watching anything on YouTube, I would have my feet up and a
nice drink,
big drink, exactly, and that would be it for me. So
maybe some nice snacks too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Susan adds, but wanted to be here to say hi and thank you both for making this place for us all during COVID. Greatly appreciated. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Susan. Wow. Valerie says she's working with the prompt and has lots of images of her family's dogs.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yes.
So
I had a dog when I was, more accurately, my family did when I was younger.
But she was your best pal.
Oh yeah.
So you had a dog.
Yes. But it's been a long time since we had a pet.
It has. I got a dog when I got my first live-in boyfriend. And he was a neurotic, but otherwise absolutely lovely dog. A black Labrador retriever, although not pure.
He was the one who loved bran muffins, right?
Oh my God. Kal is alluding to a horror show of a story. Just imagine a dog eating an entire package of bran muffins and being alone in the apartment for hours. I won't go into detail beyond that.
That's probably enough, right?
I think so. I think everybody would like
maybe
to
more than
not get too vivid about that.
Yep.
I had cats growing up. I miss having cats, or a cat, at least. My mother got one during the pandemic, which was a very good idea.
We thought she was nuts, but then we quickly learned that it was actually quite brilliant.
Yeah, psychologically, it was so helpful. And she has help with the physical aspects of it, so.
Yes, which is
If
essential.
she didn't, that wasn't going to work, but.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I've got here as far as materials.
And don't you find that physically interacting with
Yeah,
it really
handling
helps
them
you?
and just looking at them, but not just looking at them. I think that's something that's interesting. I can flip through and get a certain degree of a sense, but I haven't decided who I'm going to close crop yet, but I'm definitely going to close crop one of them. But I looked at these, for instance, and they just looked like they needed to be cut into rows. So I did that. There's something about the sort of rows of different species, sort of specimen-like. So yeah.
It buys you some flexibility now that you have them in rows too, right?
Yes, absolutely. They can be rearranged. They could be... I'm wondering about close cropping this fellow, but I'm not sure. Oh, what the heck. Might as well, right?
Beautiful shape.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the black space is beautiful, but that's, you're doing a collage, so.
Exactly. And that was exactly what I was wondering. Like, oh, well, I'll lose the black, but I can put it on another dark or yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's also a shadow area on him or her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so until you actually close crop them and try them in a different context, you don't know what's possible. So
Val says, between us and our kids, we have 5 dogs currently.
Oh my goodness, you guys, that's
incredible.
Nuts. You really are going to the dogs.
You have an actual gang of dogs.
Yes. That's you. Are you sure you're not a kennel?
Oh boy.
That's a lot of time there.
Well, I trust you have a spacious house and yard. Obviously, a lot of walking is happening too, but in between times
it must.
They need a lot of room.
Yeah, it must be quite something when you guys get together with all the dogs.
Yeah.
Lots of excitement.
Speaking of excitement, we are so excited at the prospect of becoming double vaccinated. It's crazy. I know it takes a couple of weeks for the full immunity to kick in, but wow, what a prospect, eh, Kal?
It is, having all the uncertainty and the wait and all of that for these many, many months.
Well, and my mother's double vaccinated, so now that's going to feel less fraught seeing her.
Yeah. it's hard to it was hard to visit her because she lives right downtown, and we don't want to neglect her, but we also don't want to
infect her.
Yeah, exactly. That's it in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. Do you need a sharp blade? I'm always telling my students that.
Yeah,
there's no sense.
I was just wondering, why is it not cutting? And it's taken me a while. You know, whenever you're half preoccupied, it takes you a while.
Pass me the masking tape from over there, and I'll deal with the blade.
Why, thank you. It's great to have a lovely and talented studio assistant, I have to say.
Val says only 2 of the dogs live with them.
Right, yes.
Yeah. So visiting, it's like a big party.
It's relatively sane.
Big canine party.
until company's coming.
Susan writes, yay for vaccines. Happy to hear you are able to get yours now. Oh, man. That was the best email ever. Because we got our first vaccination through Trillium Health
in
Mississauga, and they have a clinic at the U of T Mississauga campus. And so, when the news came out, my mother and various people were saying, "Oh, they're making the second vaccines available sooner," and people were going onto the Ontario website and waiting and refreshing, and apparently it's quite the ordeal. But I went and checked our provider, and they said, don't worry, we will be emailing you with your new dates. You don't have to do anything, just wait for the email. So, and days later they sent the email, so happy.
I know some of it, like the pharmacy stuff, is a bit of Wild West. So we're very grateful to have like a very sane, well-organized.
Oh man, yeah, they really have been a model of organization. Rebecca writes, Kirk's mom became eligible to move up her vaccine appointment today. So Kirk was helping her book that this morning. And it turned out she could get an appointment today.
Wow.
So she is now double vaccinated. Yahoo! That's so great.
There.
Yeah. Well, I guess we have to do training on the overhead camera or something.
Yeah.
Practice it all summer long, so when we come back, we'll be better at it and interacting with it. Annie writes, I hope UTM will still have Pfizer dosages. My husband had his second Pfizer with only a slight headache after. My sister and parents had Moderna for second and had headaches and nausea. Well, fingers crossed. And my understanding is that, the reactions can also be very individual. So
yeah, I have a cousin who had a much stronger reaction, and I think she had Pfizer both times, and so
and she had a very strong second vaccine reaction, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So
because our immune systems are as individual as we are, so that's what it's about, really. Ooh, I like the 2 dogs.
There's something nice about that.
Yeah, very nice. So Annie, I hope you'll be getting yours soon too, your second dose.
Yes, we have the challenge, we also have the opportunity or the benefit of being, most of us on this jam are either in Toronto area or Peel, which are both hotspots. So it means we get
Greater risk, but greater access.
Yeah, exactly. She's good with the words. It's a good thing because, man, words are failing me these days.
Well, don't
I
worry,
am
dear.
just not
You're
together
alone.
with the words.
Annie says she's booked for the 30th. Oh, the day before us.
Yeah,
then.
that's great.
That's
Yay.
great. Well, we'll watch for your posts to see how you're doing.
Yes.
Françoise said she had no problem with her second shot of Pfizer and she's feeling safer. I bet you are.
Oh,
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I'm glad for you, and I'm glad for glad to hear positive.
Yeah.
Minimal side effect. I mean,
but hey, I'll take a lot of side effects.
Oh, exactly. We will all take the side effects, right? Presuming they're not huge, insanely. But yeah,
because I can take
Tylenol.
I can drink ginger tea. I can lie down for 3 days, whatever.
I found this on the Flickr Commons, and it's I think it's an illustration from a children's book from like 1870 or something like that. It's kind of fun.
I love the way one ear is cocked.
Yeah, no, it has strong dogginess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's and I love the energetic mark making.
Yeah,
it's both realistic but also expressive, which is great.
These dogs are full of energy.
Yeah, so exactly. They're both, right?
Lines.
Yeah, exactly.
And this dog is definitely called Spot, isn't he? He or she.
Oh yes, and okay. Just having some ideas with this dog, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
That colorful dog, I forget what those dogs are called. It's a famous breed. There's a photographer who's made a career of photographing them.
There you
go. Oh, right. I can look it up. But
you might be able to.
I don't know. I feel like it's a she.
Yeah.
And she looks like a supermodel.
Yeah, like, definitely. Yeah. She's photogenic in the extreme, for sure. Here, this one actually has color, so that might be helpful in honing in. And it may that has a certain number of breeds.
Enough,
but yeah, exactly. There are a lot more breeds than that.
Schipperke. Here's a breed I've never heard of.
Good old Schipperkes.
My grandmother had a Pekingese back in the 50s. Maybe the early 60s. No, I guess the 50s.
At the same time as her
Timmy the cat.
Right.
This was the cat my mother could do anything with. Dressed him up, put him in a baby carriage, and he'd just sit there.
Wow.
Until she came and got him.
So a very patient dog, in other words.
Cat. That was the cat.
Sorry.
Timmy.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I would.
The Pekingese would never have put up with that.
No.
The Pekingese, I think, was very much my grandmother's dog. She presumably was the one always walking it, too. And my old schoolmate, Douglas, has an Italian greyhound that's also a supermodel called Pixel. Sorry, I'm just browsing through the species here. That's why it might sound a bit random.
Why you're being reminded of certain dogs by species? Yeah.
Pekingese have really long hair, so I'm just thinking of all the work having to brush that hair. The name Weimaraner comes to mind for this dog.
Yeah, I don't
know
whether they're
not have that quite right.
that's the one that comes to mind for me too, but I don't know my dogs well enough. The ones I've seen are more
and that's what Rebecca is offering up
okay,
as a
all right.
suggestion.
Right. Then I know I've seen them sort of more sort of warm gray rather than this strong a color, but that could be.
They probably have color variants.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it looks identical.
Yeah.
Face and head. Annie writes, the Pekingese won Best in Show this year. Do you follow dog shows, Annie? That's really interesting, which suggests that you might have your own dog.
Yes, Annie has.
Or
Annie does have a dog. I seem to recall.
Okay.
I can't remember the breed though, Annie.
Of her dog,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
This is the Virtual Collage Jam edition where we sound like we're space cadets, just because the overload of our life recently. So,
well, and we're no dog experts, that's for sure either. So,
Susan Abbott, remembering that artist that did photos of Weimaranders. Yeah, exactly. And I can't remember his name, but he certainly has made a career out of shooting them in the good sense.
Good to clarify there, Kim.
Yeah. Gotta like those negatives, eh?
I do.
Annie writes she has a mixed border collie and lab and probably some hound.
Wow.
So does that mean high energy but also easygoing?
If that's possible.
Yeah. Sometimes I catch the show on TV by chance. Always fun to watch the Westminster. Right? I know in the past I have stumbled upon some by chance, but quite a while in the past because we don't actually have regular TV service. I mean, I suppose we could get some over-air stuff if we tried. But we don't have an antenna set up for it, so I'm not sure how much we'd get. Can you pass me the one you cut out the negatives on just for fun?
Yeah, absolutely. There's something about the eyes peeking out. Yeah, and something fun about that.
They can't see that.
Yeah, so this is what Kim was thinking, is looking for that that sort of eye peek, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just crop it like that and then have this kind of strange but fun.
It's like sort of surreal feeling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's do that as one idea.
One like mini.
That's sort of a simpler but kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Look at the white rectangle that's at the top on the ground of the underlying photo. Yeah.
On the ground of the underlying photo, like this part?
Yeah, like just that white rectangle on that atmospheric ground looks quite, you got the precise, clear shape.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And
and my initial instinct was to cut to that rectangle and just have this show through here, but maybe
cut a larger rectangle.
Yeah, well, and so something that is worth considering, or that I'm going to do, is I will cut it larger first time because that leaves my options open. And something I'm a big fan of is doing things that delay the commitment to any sort of cuts, especially if there's an option. Yeah, exactly.
Give you the chance to notice.
No, exactly.
Right?
So what I'll do, for instance, is I'm going to cut something like to this, and then just see where we're at, and then see whether it's better that way. It might be better to come in at least on.
You might want to like change the transition for the lower part of the top dog.
The lower part of the top dog. Yeah, I know what you mean. Here,
I know, rectangle that's at the bottom as opposed to the rectangle that's at the top.
I understand what you meant. It sounded funny, so I was just enjoying the. Right. It was exactly what you needed to say to be clear what you were referring to. But it was taken out of context, which is what my ears was hearing. How fun.
I like that ear from the underlying one.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. You see the white band on the left edge of the bottom? Like, cut the white band off and see what happens.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
The white on the other side looks good. But
it was funny, I guess, just the way it was cut originally or whatever. Yeah. The dog extends further here and not as far as the background, but that's...
Annie writes, haha, Charlie Pup is a bundle of energy and very playful. All the best traits. Haha.
That's...
Aw, sounds charming.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacy's here.
Hey,
hi,
Stacey.
everyone. Hi, Stacy.
Glad to have you along, Stacy.
Yeah.
And I know it's Stacy is a very busy.
Right. Well, I'm so glad you could make it for, as this is our final one for the season until we come back in September. It's especially nice to, even if some people can only pop in for a little while. It's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Cherie writes, peekaboo. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Joy writes, so much fun. Yeah. There's not enough real fun in the world.
And I know Kim is out to change all that.
Am I?
Aren't you?
Am I on a one-woman mission?
One-woman mission to...
I don't think I'm up to the job. Although I am trying to plan something fun for my students for tomorrow's class. Doing something playful or whimsical or
so Kim teaches a course in, how would you describe your Tradigital course?
It's a making art in Photoshop is what it is, really.
And you've had them doing some pretty brain intensive stuff.
Yeah, very kind of
useful, but
I've given them a system for. It's not that many steps, but it is procedural and it is precise. And so I want to offset those two lessons with a couple of lessons of much more fun, looser, more responsive and intuitive.
Yeah.
Stacy adds, glad to be here, getting some inspiration to create later tonight. Smile.
Excellent.
That's great.
And your dog was sick recently, right, Stacy? How is he or she doing now?
That looks so abstract, that middle portion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. See, that's exactly in the right spirit of what what I have in mind for class tomorrow. So
Right.
this is a good warm up.
getting your brain thinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Exactly. Oh. Well, I'm on a delay, so you've already moved on. That's cool.
I've already moved on from this? No. Still
No,
here.
I see you at a delay on
Oh
the
yeah,
screen,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, I know you do. But I moved on to words are failing me. What you were noticing. You're noticing the abstraction of this one, right?
Yeah. And you put it upside down over top of the
Right, like
thing.
that.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
Like
No,
you moved on from it. So
yeah. No, there are a lot there. It may come back. It may come back.
it's strange having the asynchronous
I know
things.
The
video I can see well because I'm seeing the overhead camera view like everyone else. I see obliquely what's going on.
Then you look over at what I'm doing,
live,
and it doesn't match up.
I
know.
Time. So.
Yeah. So if occasionally Kim and I say on the other's feed something that relates to, it's like, wait, no, what are they? That happened earlier. It's because of that.
Stacy says he's doing great. He just seemed to be under the weather for one day. Well,
that's good. Yeah.
That happens to all of us. So
yep.
Glad he's doing better. That's fun. It's a bit like a pop-up book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm just trying to figure out a way that it can be useful.
Yep.
And that ain't it, but we'll see. We'll see.
You could have a big tongue emerging from underneath the fold.
Yeah.
Françoise writes, love those eyes between the legs. The white rectangle helps too.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I've this one may get some more. That may be enough. So I've just sort of put it aside to
let
be
it rest a bit
on the back burner.
Yeah.
Mental back burner.
Well, that's neat. Bring that additional fold.
Mm-hmm.
Do the three-dimensional collage.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but that should come as no surprise to anyone.
No, anybody who's been here for a while should know that that's how it goes.
Yeah. What's he planning?
Fun.
What's he planning? I have no idea.
Fun's going on here.
It'd be kind of fun if you could actually see that that's what happened. So if I sort of smushed it sideways a little bit, of course, that would have been useful to have diagonal cuts, but
you just have to photograph it from 3/4. That's all.
Yeah, it just looks like I'm a sloppy folder.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well,
do it the way you would do it, and then this is one of those collages that will benefit from photography.
Back to the unsmudged, if possible. May not be possible, but we'll see.
I'm just going to throw this out there because it's something that's occurred to me with this. If you cut a few short slits in the backdrop, you could slide some of these strips of little silhouettes or whatever through that
those.
And have like a vertical element.
Right. Little repeating.
Or a horizontal element. But what I meant was little short slits so that you could put
have
those
them
in.
sticking in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But do with that what you will.
I will take it under advisement and think about it.
Exactly the thing to do. That dog that you've done all that folding on is unusual in facing right instead of left.
Yeah,
it's funny, eh?
It is funny. I was noticing that how many of the photographs have them facing to the right,
to the left,
the other left, aka the right.
The blackness of that dog is handy if you were to. What if you? Oh, you can't because they all face the same direction.
I was just looking at it and thinking that about cutting it out so that it, and then using the negatives some way. But
Yep.
This one,
given that you have a few of them,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
try a
yeah,
few things.
yeah. Didn't cut out very many. I have lots of heads, but only a few full dogs. And this one's, I love the surface texture of this one, but it's not an easily close cropped one.
Oh, so just here's a thought.
Well, you know,
you could take a dog like that or like this, and this one because you have a duplicate.
Yep.
And cut its silhouette in black paper or magic marker the back and cut it out and flop. It would allow you to flop it so that it's facing right instead of left.
Yeah.
Or do it in a different color, but you know, you might find that useful.
I might. You'll notice I'm quickly rummaging for some black paper.
Can you tell that Kal and I used to collaborate a lot as designers? The first 20 years of our life together, and before we were an item, we were collaborators. So
we go a long way back.
Yep.
Longest of all as artistic collaborators.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna say
colleague.
Design, but creative.
Yeah, that's it. Creative collaborators.
Adobe CC, creative collaborators. All right. Something that Kim and I have talked about a few times, both regarding collage and digital, is that you'll often hear people say, oh, you know, they just traced it. And we definitely will trace things if it suits us. But something that's surprisingly interesting is how different people can trace things.
Yeah, quite differently.
Because anytime you're tracing something, and cutting out is just, in this case, is very much like tracing, I will make different decisions than someone else might.
Yeah.
When I looked at this dog, I thought, yeah, I'm going to have some interesting decisions to make about how many of these little spiky details I'm going to bother cutting out. And then I'm thinking, well, because I'm cutting it out for a black silhouette, the edge is actually really important. Now, I could cut it very cleanly and still have it recognizable as a dog for sure. But I'm going to try and include at least some of them because it will add character to this particular dog. But I also
energy as well.
And energy, yeah. But I don't want to drive myself insane, so there's gonna be an interesting balance between, oh yeah, I'll skip that one, I'll cut that one out, etc. And the fact that I have to cut it out is part of my editing process, right? Oh, that's going to be too finicky. Oh no, I can make that work. So
I do that a lot when I'm tracing tree branches, and I'll end up redesigning sections of it to, borrow from this part, and edit out and simplify and add a detail in a place that's a little too bare. So so I'm tracing, but it's not even replication in that case, but it allows me to get the material I need to get to the part that really needs me to pay attention to, or that I want to pay attention to, which is the what then do I do with those lines and shapes and the positives and negatives and the layers and so on.
Well, and
I can use the same photo reference over and over again, and it will never be the same twice,
And depending on the artist and their intention, the trace will be different.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And it can even be the same artist with different intentions.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I can use it multiple times, and it will never come out the same way twice because I'll make different decisions. Yeah, it'd be nice to do a few more of my tree pieces this summer during our break. There were a number that I made that were just small prototypes, and I never made into the finished sizes I'd planned.
Yeah.
That would be nice to
get back to them, right?
Yeah, because it'll be more meditative because I have the prototype, so I can.
You have, you sort of know the basic thrust of the body of work, so you can.
The big decisions have been made.
It'll be easier to rejoin, even when you're maybe not at your best, but it will maybe help you recover.
That's right.
Is an important thing. Creating from scratch can be exciting, but it can also be exhausting. And so
if you're already drained, that can be hard. But if you can pick up a thread of something that was neat, but you didn't really make it in a final form, that's a way to join a program in progress.
Yeah. and I would recommend that, that's a very good idea for Kim in her current situation as she's tapped out. And it's good for anyone who's coming back to art from whatever sort of a layoff is, don't dive in at the deep end. Is pick something that is...
Don't discourage yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's setting yourself up for failure because you're asking too much too soon.
Yeah.
Whereas if you I can handle this little task. I can do this one little job, or I can just play without expectation with this for a little while.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you'll start having ideas and things will start flowing. But if you think, oh, I should be able to launch into my masterpiece now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Making samples and tests is also a good thing to do to ease yourself in. We've got some comments here.
Excellent.
Annie wrote, alluding to our collaboration conversation, you two passed the toughest test of your relationship as collaborators at work. Everything now should be easy. Smile. Well, I can't say everything's been easy, but we have been cooperative even through the difficulties, I'd say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I think, like any couple, we have had and will continue to have plenty of challenges.
Yeah.
But actually, I think the creative foundation that we laid has a really important part to play, because there was mutual respect back and forth.
Yeah.
We had a common goal that we had to arrive at. It wasn't going to be constructive if we didn't arrive at it. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't just the deadline would not brook us just turning our backs on each other and storming off in a huff.
No,
because we couldn't afford that. Right?
So we communicated.
Yeah.
And we didn't compete.
Yeah. So
that's actually one of I know historically that's been a hard thing for creative couples. Because if you both do the same things, how do you not compete, or, how does resentment not build up in certain ways? So we have been spared that. I'm glad. Probably because we started out like that. Susan asks, what are our plans for our summer break? Well, that's a really good question, Susan. And we are dealing with a lot of physical, and we're drowning in physical objects right now because of helping my godmother transition. And so one of my first objectives is going to be carving out some degree of sanity in our house that was already overtaxed. And with any luck, there's a bedroom that instead of just storing things needs to be turned into a digital studio. So, please include us in your prayers at night that will actually be accomplished, because, oh my God, it would make such an enormous difference to our life, not to mention work. So we need to get my mother out of her apartment and into the nice world. So out
for some trips and other
outings.
Words, right? Yes, exactly.
Outings.
She's quite happier in her apartment as in terms of her choice of apartment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but she needs some outings.
She has been cooped up for much too long.
Way too long.
So. And
we've been so busy with everybody getting sick and passing away and so on that we haven't been able to give her enough attention. I am planning at least one solid week of reading.
Yeah, yes.
Nothing but books. Ideally 2 weeks, but we'll see how that goes. And we want to be biking and paddling, right?
That all sounds pretty great, I have to say.
Yeah. We have a little getaway in the planning stages in September. And we're really, really looking forward to that.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. So we're still in flux of necessity because oh man, given the way the first 6 months of this year has gone, we need to see how things hopefully settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kim has some one-on-one teaching that she's got scheduled.
Yes, that's right.
And I have a course coming up starting July 8th. More garden art.
That's right.
Which has been a popular course from last year, and I thought time to reprise that. So that's live on my website now as of last night. And then there's also
it's the same idea, but not an identical course.
No, exactly.
So if you took the first one, the second one will be different.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I like to teach.
Yeah.
I like to do further explorations so that if someone's taken it before, they can take it again with some new. I mean, I need it to keep fresh, but I also know that other people do as well.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a collage
intensive,
kind of like a workshop, kind of like a 1 week intensive, but it's not 1 week of Zoom classes. That would be brutal. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And there will be some art history each time, a little in-class exercise each time, and then some optional prompts for things to try. But then you can work as much or as little in between, like on the Monday afternoon, the Tuesday, and then come back on the Wednesday.
Yeah, so you can be really ambitious with what you take on
or more
in
laid
between,
back, exactly.
or just,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's also up on my website. That's called Collage Incubator. So
Collage Incubator. I quite like that name, I must say.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay, gotta read these comments. Jane, oh no, I have to go back to Françoise, who says, easy to find humor when collaging. Have a fun summer, Kim, Kal, and co-collagers. You too, Françoise.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming by.
Jane writes, having this creative outlet you guys have afforded us has made any and all challenges manageable. Oh, that's so lovely to hear, Jane.
Yeah, thank you, Jane. That's very moving to hear, and that's exactly what we had hoped, is that it would be a coping mechanism, right? Because we've had plenty to cope with, haven't we?
Yeah. Cherie writes, you call this a rest? And Ruth, hi, Ruth. She adds, wow, I'm exhausted just listening to your summer plans, LOL. I know.
You know what? We say things like that and we don't get as much done, but our summers tend to be when we can make hay while the sun shines, but we're also really tapped out. So
we need rest.
So rest will be first.
That's why reading books, I just can't wait to I've got so many books to read, and I'm going to love reading them.
So the books better beware.
Yeah.
Kim's coming for them.
Maybe we could go and find nice waterfronts to pull out the lounge chair and read.
That's a great idea. Actually,
wouldn't that be nice?
Reading road trips.
Yeah.
Go find a nice place to. We were spoiled. We used to live in the beaches area of Toronto, and we didn't do it nearly enough. But a few times we'd take our beach chair down.
Yeah.
And just plonk it there.
And watch the
sunscreen
waves
and watch the sunset or the waves roll in or the sailboat sail by. And that was very good medicine for when we were exhausted from deadlines and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should do a bit of that again.
I think you're right. Problem will be finding places that aren't overcrowded, I guess. Ruth adds, hi, I just got on, LOL. Just wanted to say hi and wish you guys a great summer after the year you have had so far. Oh, thank you, Ruth.
Yeah.
That's so sweet of you, and it's so nice to see you here.
Yeah.
Joy writes, rest, reset, and rejuvenate. Okay, that's going to be a sign I'm going to put up, Joy.
The triple R.
To remind us what we need to focus on.
The only R from the reading, writing, and arithmetic that we want is the reading part.
Yeah.
Give the arithmetic and the
Well, I don't know. Some writing might be.
Yeah,
all right.
that's true. All
Depends
right.
on the kind of writing.
Yes, very much so.
Copywriting's different than journaling, for example. This is fun watching you do this. It's like reminds me of the punch out Valentine's cards I used to get all the time.
It has some of that same delicious feeling because you get to do this tearing, but it's precise.
Yeah,
right? And so
exactly.
I
look at that silhouette. That's gorgeous.
I know,
you guys.
Wait
till you see this.
No, it was the right thing to do. Like you gotta love this. And he's reversible. Actually, he isn't reversible now because I cut one of the legs accidentally, so I've got a piece of tape on that. So I've just defeated. Well, I could put the tape on the other side. Or collage over top of it, but
yeah. That's one of the beauties of doing a cutout silhouette is the reversibility.
Yes.
And you've got that beautiful negative.
And I've got this negative right here, which is going to be pretty great too. So
yeah.
2 for the price of 1.
And Susan has commented quite rightly, you need to use the negative too, the part you cut out. Exactly.
You're darn tootin'. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. I mean, it's so simple, but it just never gets old.
Sometimes the super simple is just like, how do you beat this, right? I mean, that is like about as simple a concept as it can be, but it's hard to beat.
Rebecca writes, looks great.
But it is
all kinds of neat ideas flowing today.
But it is true that doing exactly what I did there which was to put my reference over top of some paper, cut it out through both of them. So I have, what have I got for all that work? I've got the positive original, the positive that I cut through to, and the negative. And I mean, this one's less interesting, but I do
lay that down on a colored ground, and that becomes more interesting.
But I do have this one as well. So you actually, for one cutting out, you get more things, which is you gotta love that.
I'm a big fan of that.
And
done some of that in my figurative art classes, and the results have been astounding.
Certain shapes and only certain poses of things like dogs or figures are really great for silhouettes, because with a silhouette, you only have the information from the silhouette. So if the head is like turned back on the body, then you lose the legibility of the but this one's a good one. And it kind of looks like
okay, just take a look at that.
Yeah, that's fun right there.
Look on screen.
Yeah, no, in fact, looking at on screen,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's great. I feel like you need bigger paper or something to get all these beautiful things on. Oh, that's amazing too. What you're just about to show us, I think.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that whole. I even like the fact that the paws are white.
Yeah.
You know?
In fact, now I'm stopping looking at my work. I'm looking at the screen.
Yeah.
Because it actually allows, just like looking at it on your phone, it allows you to see it better.
You get more objectivity.
Yes, that sort of level of remove lets you see it more objectively.
Getting all kinds of ideas for class tomorrow.
You're welcome.
Ooh,
I know. I'm just wondering about that.
So many interesting things.
You know, I think I've cut all my dark dogs on dark backgrounds out, but there is something interesting about that.
Well, those heads actually getting something good out of. So I think I need to catch up on the comments. I do. Annie writes, wow, and you can see the fur too, such detail. Well, yes, You know, when Cal's in charge of cutting something out, you can count on some good details. Joy writes, he's looking at his shadow. Yes, when we were doing the positive negative facing.
Yeah.
Cherie says, that Jungle Book song is running in my head. You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. That's hilarious. Thanks, Cherie. That's great. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Oh, fun.
Oops.
Okay, like we could actually spend another whole hour and a half just working with these silhouettes. If you have more of just duplicates of the ones you have, it's amazing what you could do, right? That's fun. This could be another artwork of yours that could be on a spinner, so you can flip it.
What kind of dog is this, do you think? Airedale?
Honestly, I have no idea.
It might be a mutt.
Makes me think of a terrier of some kind, but
the reason I was wondering is I was thinking, I wonder if I have it in the strip and I could put the strip in with like some kind of
with circling the right one,
or a collage.
Oh well, let's see if that species. Thank you, Cherie. She writes, nice voice, and then she adds, I love that simple paw to paw.
Yeah.
It's this. Some of the simplest ideas really have transformative power. That's really the key, right? Does it transform into something that transcends the ingredients?
Might be a border collie. Oh, you've got the colored one. Yeah, that might be. The border collie has floppy ears, so yeah, it's probably.
I honestly think it's some kind of terrier.
No, I think terrier.
Because Lakeland Terrier and wire-haired fox terrier look related to me.
Well.
It's a bit like this Cairn Terrier, but the Cairn Terrier might be smaller than this dog is.
Yeah, it looks like it. But I think you're right. There's a terrier in it.
So we've got some suggestions here. So first Cherie writes, time to take some photos of all the different compositions. Exactly, Cherie.
Yeah.
That's what I would have had all my students do. And that's what I would do. Susan suggests a border of border collies. Val says it looks like some type of terrier, not a border collie. Right. So she's in agreement with me on that. Cherie suggests a Jack Russell Terrier. That might be it. I don't. Do we have a Jack Russell in this collection?
I don't think so, but that seems possible.
Yeah, that seems like a good suggestion. It's alphabetical, Kim. You can just look at the. You know what? I think it is a Jack Russell. Look at this. They're even showing spots.
Yep, and it's the right ears too. The ones that go up, but then a little bit down.
Hook.
Yeah. So that's it.
Angle down. Yeah.
Hole in one there,
I think
Cherie.
we've got it there.
That's fun.
Thank you, Cherie. Yeah. they're kind of a nice sized dog too. I mean, I love a Labrador or something, but in our house, that would be a large dog. In our old house, it would have been fine.
I've lost it again.
No, it was not. It's alphabetical, so look for the J's. Further down.
B, C, D, G. Right. I know, it's pathetic.
There you go, dear.
Yeah.
Do you need a Post-it note to mark it?
I'm going to hope not.
Okay.
I found it in my smaller one, and I'm going to cut this row out.
Okay.
Once I find them again. There, it's that row. Okay.
Cherie writes, not bad for a cat person. Yeah, not bad at all, Cherie.
I'll say, that's hilarious.
It's the same problem I'm having. I'm actually impressed that I even had a sense that it was a terrier. But it's sort of the same with spaniels, right? There's sort of a look to them, even though they have variations.
Are they terrier in French?
I don't know. And Françoise is gone, so we can't ask her. Rebecca says, I was thinking something fuzzier, like a wire fox terrier. Yes, so that's one of the photos I have here. But the legs, whether because of fur or structure, it's stockier than this dog. And the Jack Russell has a taller, slenderer look.
And also looks like the shortish tail is in keeping. No, I know some dogs.
Well, the wire-haired fox terrier has a short tail.
Oh, does it? Okay, yeah, I don't have one in this to refer to.
In fact, I think that's one of the things terriers have is short tails.
Okay, well, see, shows you how much I know, guys.
Nellie is here and able to say oui, terrier. Thank you, merci, Nellie, for that insight. One of the things Cal's been able to add to his pretty cool selection of collage materials in bins in the basement is a big falling apart old Larousse. Oh, we've got it here. Look at this. It's called the Petit Larousse. It's like the shorter Oxford Dictionary, right?
Yeah.
Weighs
so it's
18
from 1979
pounds.
and it's illustré.
It really has some fabulous illustrations.
And in fact, oh look,
photos.
the thing that it's falling open to is Kandinsky, Picabia, Delaunay, Kupka, Mondrian, and and Menissier.
So my godmother was bilingual. I say was because that's how she would put it. She's rusty with her French, but her mother was a Quebecoise lady. I use that term advisedly, actually. She was quite the madame. And her
Kim.
father was Anglo. Oh my God.
Anatomical stuff.
Oh, I totally have to steal those pages.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she has a lot of French language and culture books, including a lot of dictionaries. Because I think one of the problems is when you don't actually live in a francophone environment, but you have the language, you're constantly forgetting words that you need, or so she used those a lot. Plus, she's a word lover. She's a lifelong writer and so on. So words really matter. Yes, Cherie, I agree. That's petite. I hate to see the grande. Yes, definitely. Oh, Rena says her iPad battery is at 6%. Before she loses us completely, she wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rena.
And wish us both a happy and rejuvenating summer. Oh, thank you. And she also adds, thank you for all you do for us and the art community. With
Oh,
a big
bless
heart.
you. Yeah, thank you so much, Rena, for coming out so many times. We really appreciate
and
it.
And for all the love you bring.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So have a wonderful summer, Rena. I should mention it is actually 3:30 right now.
All right.
So you can think about what your last moves will be.
Mm-hmm. I will do that.
Before we wrap this up and say a proper, because you got called away on an important phone call for my final virtual studio party, I forgot to switch from my overhead camera to my face camera position.
Yes.
So let's make sure we do that for this, for the winding up.
I will make sure of that.
Yeah. Susan writes, sending you guys warm wishes and hugs and hope you have a restorative summer. See you in the fall. Thank you so much, Susan, and you too. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the double vaccinated summer, everybody.
Yes. So these are just random ideas, so I'm just going to
sort of dry fit them.
Yeah, exactly. So
you can contemplate.
Yeah, exactly. But just
it's a nice thing about having actually, can you push the whole pad up this way a little bit?
So just playing with the sort of jaggedness of the silhouette and thinking about like some sort of flashy kind of thing coming up from where the Jack Russell is in the row.
Right.
But I don't even know whether that's what I want to do, but
it's certainly one idea.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's sort of fun.
Yeah. So I will probably do exactly as Cherie suggests and just take a photograph of that.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. So. But
Annie says, have a great summer and thank you both. Hugs. Hugs back, Annie, and thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great summer yourself.
All right. I'm just going to switch back to from our overhead.
Let's get the on face camera going. Certainly gives you a bizarre perspective of this room. Jane writes, thanks guys for taking the positive connotation of going to the dogs. I'm afraid I took the political satirical route, but was fun and good therapy. Have a thoroughly enjoyable summer, guys. You too, Jane.
Yeah, likewise, Jane. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that's why I try and give prompts that have multiple reads so that you can take them different ways, right? Because it's too short to be pigeonholed. So yeah. So
and I'm just going to there are a couple other messages, but I just want to skip to Cherie's for a moment to recommend everybody here to check out the Facebook group on occasion over the summer, because she's going to post any updates regarding the collage article. And please do offer your comments if you feel that you got anything out of the experience of Virtual Collage Jam in the past 15 months, 16 months, whatever it's been.
Yeah.
It would be wonderful to have your input potentially be part of that article. And she wishes everybody a wonderful summer.
Thank you, Cherie. Likewise. And thank you for writing the lovely article and hopefully they take submissions and then they decide whether or not they want to run with them. So fingers crossed they will want to run with it. It's a great story, I think. And a great writer, I think, and great collagers.
Of course, we could all let the magazine know that we're just dying for this article, right?
Exactly. But have a wonderful summer, guys. And keep collaging. Keep on posting in the Collage Jam group if you like. And we will catch you in the fall.
Yes, and we will see what we can do about organizing an in-person special event.
Yes, I am going to get in touch with the Gladstone and see whether we can arrange for a live in-person. Yeah, exactly. Partner with them for a an in-person collage jam. Maybe see what their timing's like.
That we would also live stream.
Well, yeah, we'd
so
live stream
have
it
the
so
opportunity.
you could come like in actual person if and
Yeah.
when it's safe to do so, or join us
Geographically
online.
possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah. So
and we definitely got in mind lunch too at
Yes.
Daiichi in Mississauga.
yes, absolutely.
So lots of fun plans for our return. Hopefully when COVID is winding up, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's hoping.
So thank you again so much, guys. And is there any other thing you wanted to pass along? Or
Well, there are lots of lovely
okay.
messages.
All right.
Shall I? Why don't I read them?
All right.
I'm
loath to leave, but if you have to leave,
if you have to leave, we totally understand. But,
we're just gonna enjoy it for another moment.
Val says, "Thanks again. Enjoy
Thanks,
your
Val.
summer, and let's hope we can get together for that in-person collage lunch in the fall."
For sure.
Yeah. Joy writes, "Hugs and take care of yourselves."
Oh,
Likewise.
thank you, Joy, and thanks for coming so many times from the West Coast. I know it's a long trip.
Your arms must be tired. Rebecca writes, "Thanks for this as usual. It has been a real lifesaver through this whole COVID time. Enjoy your summer. See you in September."
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. And give our best to Kirk.
Our best to Kirk, and thank you so much. You've been a big part of making it as special as it is. You and everyone, but especially some of the diehards.
Some of the diehards have really been here through thick and thin.
Yeah. So.
Judy writes, "Thank you both
Thank
so
you,
much
Judy.
for steering us through the dark days of COVID into the light of summer and double vaccines.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful summer."
Yeah.
Thank
you
you,
too,
Judy. You too. Cherie says, "We are biased, but it is timely and a feel-good story." Well, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
And
exactly.
nothing wrong with being biased in favor of something that's those two things.
Yeah, I agree.
Nellie writes, "Thank you guys. You've been so great in enhancing our way of life. Be healthy and be happy."
Likewise,
Thank you,
Nellie. Thank you so much, and really appreciate that. Yeah.
Joy writes, "Keep me in the loop."
Of
For
course,
sure,
of course.
Cherie writes, "That would be awesome. Another creative idea." I think the Gladstone.
Yeah, definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
And Annie writes, "Look forward to seeing you all soon." XO.
Yes, likewise. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. And
have a great summer.
Have a great summer, and we'll catch you in the fall for more collage action. All right. Take care.